What's up, YouTube? Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to be showing you the Khezu in Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin. In this video, first I'm going to show you two locations that you can take on the Khezu, especially if you want to make it retreat. Then I'm going to show you the egg that you're looking for. Perhaps you don't want to fight the Khezu and make it retreat. So if you're searching monster dens, I'm going to show you the egg you need to look for if you do want to get a Khezu egg. And then I'm going to take on a Khezu with my own Khezu and go over some more background information. I'll go over the Khezu's weaknesses, how you can easily defeat the Khezu in this game, and then just some general information. Without further ado, let's talk about the location. So first, you want to go to Lavinia Glacial Peaks. After you spawn at Lavinia Glacial Peaks, you'll see the snow-clad Mount Lavinia. We're going to go down the mountain. You don't want to go back up into the glacial peaks themselves. You want to go down the mountains. So go away from Lavinia Glacial Peaks and go down the mountain. You're going to pass a bunch of different monsters. A Legiana if you want one. They're always awesome to have. But just continue down the mountain. There's going to be a royal monster on your left. That's going to be a Zenogre. You don't need to take it on, but you can if you want to. We want to find this Khezu. So keep going down the mountain, passing a couple of monster dens. And as you can see, the Khezu is right in front of me. Now, the second location, this is going to be in the end game, and you can see where we're at on the snow-clad mountain. We're in between two different fast travel locations, and West Lavinia is right down the hill from us. Now, the second location we're going to want to go to is actually the Elder's Lair Zone 5. Now, this is at the end game once you've unlocked the Elder's Lair, so this is going to be a high rank Khezu. So we're going to fast travel to this Zone 5 and take on or get to this second location of a Khezu. But these two locations are where Khezus are always going to pop up. Not to be confused with the Red Khezu. The Red Khezu is a different monster in this game. You can call it a better form. You could call it a different form. You could call it a worse form. Whatever form you want to call it, it's different. It's red. We are just looking at the Khezu, which is white. Two different monsters, just normal Khezu in this video. But in this cave, we're going to go over a bridge, then kind of to the left, and then if you go forward, it's just going to be kind of behind these rocks, just chilling with a couple of turtles. Now, if you're looking for the egg, you can see the egg on the screen. It's going to have pink stripes and a bluish hue background, whitish bluish hue background, and there is your Khezu. So that's the egg you're going to be looking for. So now that we've gone over the location and the egg you're going to be looking for, let's get into this battle, Khezu versus Khezu. First thing to note is you probably don't want to take on a Khezu with your own Khezu if you're having trouble defeating it. It is a technical type monster, so that means it's going to start out with technical attacks, and your monster is going to start with technical attacks as well, typically. Mine's, of course, starting out with a power attack, completely proving me wrong. But typically, Khezus prefer technical type attacks. Now, since the enemy Khezu is a technical type monster, you do want to counter it with a power type monster. Luckily, my Khezu was smart enough so we can counter the opposing Khezu with our power type attack. So that's the first way you're going to be easily able to defeat this Khezu. Now, in order to make it retreat, to boost that retreat rate up, we do want to attack with a Shrouded Nursilla kinship skill to boost the retreat rate. So a little bit more difficult than most. You have to go out, you have to get a Shrouded Nursilla, and you have to defeat the Khezu with the Shrouded Nursilla in order to boost the retreat rate. Although if you hit it with a paintball, it can boost the retreat rate enough to where you can easily make it retreat. Typically, that's what I've been doing. I've been hitting it with a paintball, and it has been able to retreat. So that's not too bad when it comes down to making this monster retreat. Now, the weaknesses: the head, you want to hit it with a bow and arrow, so a piercing weapon, and the body, you want to hit it with a blunt, so the hammer. Now again, weaknesses: head is a bow and arrow, body is a blunt if you want to more easily defeat the Khezu. So now that we've gone over the weaknesses, we've gone over the preferred move of the Khezu, which is technical. You want to counter it with power. Let's talk about some basic info. And this is right from the game. I have it on my big screen over here that I'm reading. Loathsome flying wyverns that dwell in caves and other dark places. All but blind. Khezu hunt by smell, using electric shocks to paralyze their prey before pouncing on them from the walls or ceiling. Now, I absolutely love the Khezu. It looks like a horror monster to me, and if you recognized in the beginning of the video, I was taking on the Fatalis with my Khezu. The Fatalis is the final boss in the game. That's right, I trusted my Khezu enough to break it out during that final boss battle. So y'all already know how much I love this Khezu, and I trusted enough to take it into that final battle. So now we've talked about the weaknesses, we've talked about the habitat, the location that you can get the Khezu, we've talked about the retreat rate and some background information. Let's get into that Monstepedia and talk a little bit more about this monster. So the riding actions is Roar. It's not my favorite, actually one of the worst riding actions in the game, but if you do utilize the Khezu as your lead monster, it can use Roar, which can freeze enemies around you, but they have to be weaker enemies, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Roar isn't the best riding action, so I would recommend not using your Khezu as your lead monster. There are a ton of better monster abilities than Roar, but you do have it. Now, the weakness of the Khezu is fire. It's going to be weak to fire, so be on the lookout for fire type moves. You don't want to take a fire type move to the face if you have the Khezu, but if you're facing a Khezu, do utilize some fire moves because it is going to help you out a little bit better. Now, the genes. The 3 confirmed genes that the Khezu has. It does have the Thunder Breath gene medium. So that deals light damage to one enemy, which has a medium chance to inflict paralysis for 3 turns. Then we're going to have the Savage Roar, which deals light non-elemental damage to all enemies, which has a low chance to knock down. And you saw Roar just a few seconds ago. And then it has the Blood Suck gene, which is medium, which is an absolutely amazing gene. It deals medium thunder damage to one enemy and recovers a percentage of damage dealt as health. So the Blood Suck gene medium with that Bolt Eater skill is absolutely awesome because you not only deal damage, but you also gain some HP back. So now that we've just seen the Spark Surprise, let's talk about it. Kinship skill activate. Huh? Why is everything upside down? The Khezu sways menacingly from side to side before diving at breakneck speed, discharging all the electricity stored up in its body upon impact with the ground. Deals damage to all enemies and inflicts paralysis. So I absolutely love the Khezu. Not only does it have the ability to inflict paralysis, which I think is absolutely critical in this game, especially when you're facing really tough monsters, but it does have a lot of good abilities. Its stats are decent that you can take it from pretty much the beginning of the game until the end game like I did and utilize it very well. I recommend getting this when you can. The Khezu we saw is in the Loloska region and it's pretty easy to make it retreat with a paintball. It's an electric type, so it deals that thunder type damage and is also strong against thunder if you do need to put it out against thunder type opponents. It's weak to fire, so just be aware of that. But it's one of my favorites, not just because of the look. Remember, it looks like a horror type monster, which I absolutely love, but it is also a pretty decent monster that you can take from beginning to end game and utilize very well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Monster Hunter Stories 2 content. I do a bunch of other video game videos and mystery box unboxing videos, so feel free to check those out as well. Until next time, peace.